my shirt the cutest thing ever. Okay, hello. So for today's video, I'm gonna be doing 10 Netflix and Hulu recommendations. These are just shows that I've seen quarantine. So if you are interested in some Netflix and Hulu recommendations, then make sure you keep on watching. So basically, in my opinion, I feel like these shows are for the most part drama. So that's like my favorite kind of shows have some sort of drama and like either a philosophical, social, or political message behind them. But today I'm gonna keep it a little bit light. I'm gonna share with you like a little bit more necessarily on the comedy, but they have comedic relief, or they're not like as intense as the shows that I like. Okay, so what I'm basically gonna be doing, I'm gonna be describing to you like just a little bit, not necessarily a summary because I don't want to do any spoilers. I hate when people give spoilers. If I go into detail about anything, I promise they won't be spoilers. It's probably not important to the story. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start with our first show. So my first show recommendation would be House of Flowers. Right now, that is like my favorite show at the moment. What I like about that show is that more like a modern Mexican show. I like that it doesn't really go into like the stereotypes of what novelas will portray and stuff like that. A little bit like on the novela side, like soapy, soap opera-y, whatever, however you say that. So it's more like LGBT friendly. It addresses homophobia. Yay, because in Mexico obviously that is a huge problem. Future editing Daniela here. So I did a pretty horrible job honestly at describing the show, so I'm gonna attempt to tell you a little bit more. It's a family of 6 if you count their housekeeper. So it's Veronica de la Mora, Ernesto de la Mora, Paulina, which is the older, Elena, and then it's the guy, I can't remember his name. Basically Paulina, her like main problem is she was married, she has a kid, and her husband is actually now a woman, so she kind of like has like internal struggles with that. I can't remember his name. He's dating the accountant, so he's like maybe like 20 some years old. He's like older, he's like maybe like in his late 40s or whatever, so there's like a big huge like age gap between them. And like the problem between their relationship is he doesn't just like women, he also likes guys. Struggles with loyalty. Not that he cheats a lot, but yeah. He has commitment issues. And Elena, she throws herself at like all of her relationships, and then they never end up working out. Had like a lot of boyfriends, and like everybody kind of pokes fun at her for that. The show is like meant to portray like serious problems on like a lighter light, funny light, I guess you would say. And also I just want to comment on their like advertisement, so I'm gonna pop them up here. So it says, "Esto no es un hombre, son dos," which translates to "this is not a man, it's two of them." It's supposed to be funny. And then it says, "Esto no es natural, obvio estamos maquilladas." So it says, "this is not natural, obviously we're wearing makeup." And then the next one, like a play on words, "Solo existen dos sexos, el mañanero y el resto." So it translates to "there's only two sexes," which refers to kind of like female or male, but this one means like to the one in the morning and the rest of them. And the other one says, "Cuida tu flor, manténla bien regada." So take care of your flower, make sure it's well taken care of, or make sure you water it often. It only shows you like the stereotype of what phobic people and transphobic people like think, but it also like has to dismiss those thoughts. That this show is like pretty progressive for being like a Mexican show, and I love it for it. So that's all I wanted to say. With Virginia de la Mora, she owns like a flower shop basically, so something obviously surrounds like the problem with the flower shop. As a Latina, I approve of this show. It's really funny. I have the privilege to watch it in Spanish, so if you know Spanish or can at least understand Spanish, I would highly recommend you watch it in Spanish, because La Casa de las Flores, like in Spanish, is like wow. I don't know how good it is in English, so for my English only speakers, I don't know. So the next Netflix recommendation, while we're in the realm of like Spanish TV, would be Elite. So I personally watch it in Spanish as well. I don't know how good it is again in English. I don't like watching shows that are meant to be in Spanish in English. Like I rather just watch it in Spanish. Really good show. Again, it kind of addresses a little bit homophobia and more focused on classism. Three students who go into this new private school that is basically where like a lot of rich kids go. Samuel, Nadia, and Christian go into this new school. So obviously they're trying to like fit in and stuff like that, but it doesn't go so well. They have like that little kind of drama going on. The kids give them a hard time, but it's one of those shows that shows you like the lives of everybody. It kind of gives you like a little bit of background so you can kind of understand the characters. Also the Mexican actress, what's her name, Dana Paola, if you know who she is. I'm not sure if it shows you on the first episode they're trying to solve like a murder mystery at the same time. I know that's like a big spoiler, but I'm pretty sure it shows you like within the first or second episode. It's one of those shows that shows you like the chaos at the end and then how it led to it, which is really cool in my opinion. Iffy about it because it's overhyped, but it deserves the whole hype. The next show I have to recommend is Las Chicas del Cable, so Cable Girls. This is also like a soap opera like kind of show, like a novela kind of show. Spain in the late 1920s, I want to say 1929, and then it goes into 1930s. Operators, so before how you have to call the operator so she could connect you to somewhere else. It revolves around operators in a telephone company and their lives. So it revolves around 5 girls. So it's Lidia / Alba, Carlota, Marga, Angeles, and Sara, in a way. So yeah, basically so Lidia, which is Lidia Alba, you'll get it at the first episode, but she is kind of like a, not necessarily like a con artist in that sort of crime. So she's trying to get into the company to steal some money from the telephone company, but she realizes that not necessarily the boss, but an important guy to the company, Francisco, works there. So she knows Francisco because when they traveled to Spain from, I don't know where they lived, they were like, I want to say they like teenagers, traveled to Spain on a train, and they got like separated there. They hadn't seen each other in 10 years. So they end up seeing each other again, and Francisco and her are like, oh shit. So she realizes she obviously cannot steal from this company, so she ends up getting a job there as an operator, and obviously like some drama occurs, but oh my god, like I am 100% team Francisco. I will physically fight you for it. It's like the drama just gets you. It's a little bit on the corny side, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so good. I really liked it. Honestly, season 5 was very unnecessary, but I heard there's gonna be like a part 2, like as a conclusion, kind of like what happened at the end, because honestly season 5 was just no disappointment. But the first 4 seasons you're gonna love, I promise. Like drama, like that romantic drama with a little bit of like mystery and like girl power kind of message, then you're gonna like this a lot. It's like, it is in Spanish, but you can of course watch it in English, and if you know Spanish, I would recommend you watch it in Spanish. While we're in the realm of like Spanish shows, The Club. So The Club is basically about a bit more stereotypical, I would say. Honestly, the only reason why I watched The Club is because like my nail lady was playing it one time, and I was like, it looks interesting. And the drama is interesting. It's a little bit just more stereotypical. It's about a band of misfit rich kids in Mexico strike out their own selling MDMA and quickly run into trouble with some other narcos, the law, and their families. So yeah, like it's pretty crazy, like the drama that happens with them, but I feel like it's really cool. It's modern, it's fresh, and if you need a reason to watch it, Alex is the reason, I promise you. Alejandro Spitzer, he is like completely 100% the reason why you should watch it. Every Latina as a child had a little crush on him. Maybe it was just me, but let me know if you did. Anyway, moving on to a more serious show, Mindhunter. So there's 2 seasons out. It might be like 2 years old by now. So it is 1977. Frustrated FBI hostage negotiator Holden Ford finds an unlikely ally and veteran agent Bill Tench and begins studying a new class of murderers. But he's a little frustrated with that because I guess he just doesn't know or understand murders and why they do what they do, so he's more interested in that. What ends up happening, they start doing more research and to understand like MOs, murder patterns between like killers, and like the similarities and like the differences and stuff like that, so they can like categorize them and like just basically understand them. So in 1977, like everybody kind of not makes fun of them or makes fun of him, but they're kind of like, okay, well, like why would you want to do that? But you know, like this is like very important because I mean, living in the present day, like you know how important it is now for FBI agents to do that. See the process of like serial killers and stuff like that. So it is about crime. It's a slower show. It's just basically like showing you details. It doesn't really have action. It doesn't really have like a bunch of murder, but you just kind of like, it's disturbing because like you hear like what killers have to say and things like that. But it's really, really good. Like I really did like it. So the next show that I'm gonna recommend to you is a little bit on the funnier side. So it is Good Girls. Again, if you need a reason to watch it, Manny Montana, girl, he's so fucking hot. He plays real, like your typical like crime lord, crime leader, whatever, but he's so hot. I'm so like, I have a problem because I literally fall in love with the guy like in every show. It's ridiculous. I get too invested in this. So it's three women who they're all mothers. They're all frustrated with their financial situation, so they decide to rob a local like market, like a local grocery shop. When they do that, they kind of disturb a crime lord, and now like he like goes to talk to them about like, hey, how are we gonna settle this? Basically, that's what the first episode is about. But it's like really funny. It has a lot of comedic relief. It has like really good drama, and I feel like this show, it's not obviously relatable, but you just kind of like get invested in their lives, and you're just kind of like, shit, like what would you do kind of thing. But it's really, really good. Ruby is my favorite. She keeps the whole group grounded, and she's like very like rational and stuff like that. So I really, really do enjoy her character. So, but it's really, really good. I really do love it. Like honestly, I recommend it to everybody. I'm like, have you seen Good Girls? Because it's so good. At the same time, I don't know if people are liking it or not, because I don't see anybody talking about it. So I don't see a lot of people talking about Chutes Creek, but I have been recommended this show before. So I want to think that people are actually watching it because it's so good. 5 seasons, but they're all very short. After their business manager loots their family fortune, the Rose family relocates to the town of Chutes Creek, which they once bought as a joke. So yeah, Johnny Rose buys that town, so that's all they have left. So they have to go live there with limited resources. So they're just like this very rich family that is basically left with nothing, and now they have to fit into this really like old school, not modern at all, farm like kind of side country, like rural, I guess, like town. But it's supposed to be like funny, and it's funny. David is my favorite. I love him so much. He's freaking hilarious. Like his attitude, he just cracks me up. And Alexis is like your typical like blonde dumb girl. She's really funny. I want to point out that Moira, like her character can be so annoying to me sometimes. Like I don't like her character at all. She's not likable at all, and half of the time I cannot understand or know what the hell she's talking about. Ronald, he annoys me so much too. I'm like, dude, you are so unnecessary, like shut up, like. But I feel like that's what makes the show really good. It is sex education. Such a hype surrounding this show. By the way, I feel like all these shows are like rated R. So if you don't like rated R shows, this is probably not the video for you. So sex education is basically the main character, or like the main focus is about like Otis, teenager. He's like 16. He's struggling to, you know, not necessarily get it on or up, whatever, just to like play with himself and explore his pleasures. His friend Eric is starting to like worry about him, and he's like, hey dude, like you have to do it. So Otis is kind of like disgusted by it. His mom is like a sex guru, so he has like a lot of pressure from his mom, and not only from his friend, but you know, like society like telling him like you should be having sex. He knows a lot about sex, but he obviously like just can't perform it because he's like very like under pressure or whatever. Again, his mom is like a sex guru. She's like a sex therapist. She'll like take in couples, sex problems, and blah blah blah. So she's like an expert in like sex. Well, that's how he knows a lot, and he starts giving people advice in high school, and everybody takes advice from him, and it's really funny. It makes you cringe a lot. And Eric is such a good friend. I loved him so much, and honestly, from season 2, he deserved better. Like, I do not like the boy who he ends up with. I'll just say that. The show that I'm currently watching, only 2 episodes away from finishing it, and I can't. I really can't. Watching The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and I never really watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was a show in the 90s, I want to say. I never really watched it, to be honest. I think I watched clips here and there, but I don't know how comparable it is to this new one. This one is a little bit more like on the dark side, and can I say that I love the fact that it crosses over with like, Riverdale. You don't see any characters or anything, but you see like certain things, because the town where she lives is Greendale, so the next town over is Riverdale. So it's really really cool. I really appreciate that they did that, because I love it when shows like reference like other shows. They mention it every now and then. I live for it, especially like in the 3rd part, because it's by parts. I don't know why. So it's part 1, 2, and 3. The best part so far, I could tell you, is part 2. Like, that was probably like my favorite part. It has like hints of Riverdale. It's like a little bit of Riverdale and reminds me of American Horror Story, but not really. I feel like I just think that because it's pretty creepy. But and also like the monsters that appear in it like are kind of like creepy but tolerable. But if you're a scary cat, I don't know, try it for yourself. My friend Mari, she told me that the script is really good compared to Riverdale, because he like based it off the comic books and stuff. The script is basically like written for them. I'm not gonna lie, like it is a little bit corny, but it has nothing on Riverdale. Riverdale is on another level, and there's only so many things you can say to defend Riverdale, you know what I mean? Like be so cringy, but I love Riverdale too. But if you like Riverdale, honestly give Sabrina a try, because it's so good. I am obsessed with Nick. Like, I am in love with Nick. And I am so disappointed in part 3. Like, honestly, the end of part 2, I was like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, honestly, I was about to have a mental breakdown. Like, my favorite,
Okay, so I clearly meant least favorite
characters are definitely Harvey and Ross. Like, I'm like, time they have a scene together, every time they come out in a scene, I'm like, why are you here? Just kidding. If you watched it, please like let me know. I would love to talk about it in the comments about any of these shows. But like that show for right now is like my favorite. And also I love the fact that they if you haven't seen or read Dorian Gray, I really did love that movie. It makes an appearance in it, obviously not the character that played the movie, but the character Dorian Gray. And I thought it was so cool, because Dorian Gray, if you didn't know, sold his soul to the devil, so that's why he comes out in it. And a lot of like things about the devil, but if you're against that is what I meant to say, I would like stay away from it. Obviously it's so funny because like things like Catholics say like about like God or like prayers and stuff like that, they say like the complete opposite, which is like funny to me. I really like the show so far. Like I really did enjoy it, but it could be a little too much. So the next show that I have to recommend is Big Little Lies. This came out in 2017. It came out a long time ago, but the new season came out, I guess, 2019, I want to say. About this five Monterey moms. 4 of them are like filthy rich, and then it's just basically about their life. They're all dealing with like a drama of their own in their own household and stuff like that. One of them, obviously she's not rich, so she's just like a single mom, and drama between all of them, I guess, starts when one of the kids bites another kid. And so they ask like, oh, like who was it or whatever, and so they blame it on the new mom's kid. So she's like, what? Like, my son had never done that and blah, blah, blah. So she's trying to talk to him and he's like, no, like, I didn't do it. So she defends her kid, and that's how like the drama kind of starts. It's really, really good. I mean, the cast is really, really, really good. Nicole Kidman, are you kidding me? And then also Reese Witherspoon, Zoe Kravitz, also Shailene Woodley. If you know who she is, she's the one from The Fault in Our Stars. I don't think she's a good actress, but I mean, she comes out in it. But Nicole Kidman, oh my god, like, she does such a good job. Big Little Lies is like my top 10, but I have to like rethink about what my top 10 are so I can tell you for sure. Show that I'm gonna recommend. It's so good. I finished it in literally a day. Little fires everywhere. So this is from the Hulu website. Follows the intertwined fates of picture perfect Richardson family, which Reese Witherspoon is playing, the enigmatic mother and daughter who append their lives. So they're talking about Reese Witherspoon and her family. She plays like your typical like white middle class woman, and yeah, Kerry Washington, she is like the single mom. Explores the weight of secrets, nature of art and identity, the ferocious pull of motherhood, and the danger of believing that following the rules can avert disaster. Wow, good way of looking at it. But yeah, like, it explores like several things, and I would say like identity is a big part of it. Like, it starts with the tension, like it's basically like some racial tension between like Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. Reese Witherspoon, she's like your typical, like, again, annoying ass white middle class woman that wants to be the savior of everything when nobody needs saving. Kerry is very like, no, like, you're not gonna do that. Reese Witherspoon, she's like driving and talking to her friend, blah blah. She sees a car in a parking lot, and she sees Kerry Washington in it with her daughter, and she sees that they have like a lot of things in it, like moving from one place to another, like suitcases and stuff like that. So she's like, oh my god, I have to call you back. She's like driving or whatever, and then so she calls the police and she's like, hi, yes, I would like to report a vehicle, blah blah. She's like, yeah, it just looks like a parking lot or whatever, and there's an African American woman in it, and you know, like, just your typical white woman. Like, it makes you cringe how hard but how true white people like can deal with race. Like, it's because it does a really good job of portraying like the audacity of white people. It's good for a house to rent, which ends up being like a property that Reese Witherspoon owns. So then when they get there, like, Reese Witherspoon, like, her interest in her like renting the space, hesitant to like let her like rent the space or whatever. Kerry Washington asked her like, oh, like, is there a way like I could do it like month to month? And Reese Witherspoon's like, oh no, like, I need a contract of a year, and then after that you could do month to month, blah blah. And so she's like, oh, okay, never mind, like, we move a lot, like, I'm an artist. So Reese is like, oh, okay. As they're leaving, Reese Witherspoon sees the car, so the car that she called the cops on, and she's like, oh shit, like, she kind of like, oh, I feel bad. She's like, you know what, yes, like, we'll do it, like, I'll rent it out to you. So obviously, like, it unravels into like a really big like problem, and I like how they give you like the background of Reese, and both Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington, and both of their characters, and like what's going on in their lives and stuff like that. Fires Everywhere, highly recommended. Again, it's based on a book. Little Fires Everywhere is like only like 8 episodes left, and according to, I'm pretty sure I googled if there was gonna be a second season, but I don't think there is. There should be, because you're gonna be like shook with the ending. Everything that I have to share with you. Hopefully you decide to watch any of these shows, you like it, and if you do let me know. Everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed these Netflix and Hulu recommendations. Let me know yours down below, because I would love to get into other shows. I'm waiting for Riverdale, and I'm waiting for Dead to Me, which I'm pretty sure it's already out. So as soon as I'm done with the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that's gonna be my focus. I can finish shows like this, like, and preferably if they have like a lot of seasons, please I need it. So much for watching. I highly appreciate it, and I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and hopefully I can see you on the next one. Bye.